and I hope he's got the ability to come back and race again next year, because having tasted the Tour de France for the first time, I don't think he'll ever want to stay away again.
Well, the way he came round that corner, the roads have definitely dried out, Paul, because he leaned his bike right over there, and he's got legs. These boys are having to back off or take him on, because Robbie McEwen seems to have stopped his team chasing just now. May not be a wise move.
Well, McEwen sitting around about 70th place there. The man who's paying the most attention at the front end of this group is the green jersey, Thor Hushovd. He'll be looking for the victory if he can here this afternoon, but these two riders are looking very good. The man at the front, Bram Tankink, is not a prolific winner in the sport of cycling, but he is a very rapid rider. He's looked a lot after riders like Tom Boonen in the sprint. He's a long way down. They're both a long way down, more than an hour behind Lance Armstrong in the overall classification. The strongest man of the two is definitely Horner.
He is, and he's driving on here, Chris. And, you know, he's going to go back home to the United States to start racing there as a big-time finisher in the Tour de France. 33rd overall. That's the position he will finish today. Salvatore Camesso here, sitting in the tail of this leading group. There is Lance Armstrong, 7-time winner of the Tour de France, and with the rookie just behind him in the white jersey, Jaroslav Popovic.
Well, Armstrong first overall after yesterday's stage, and basically right now he is the winner of the Tour de France, but he's got to get through the next 16.9 kilometers. They're whipping up the pace. In fact, it's Stuart O'Grady's team, Cofidis, doing the majority of the work, and Robbie McEwen sitting quite a long way back.
I think Robbie might feel he can't win the green jersey, so he's waiting to see what happens here. We're looking at Bram Tankink. He's never won a race in his life, Bram. He's been a pro since the year 2001. But he is a workhorse, and well, we've had a few first-timers win races this last 3 weeks on the Tour de France.
Well, you know, riders like this from the flatlands of the north, and he's actually from Holland, know very well what it's like riding fast on flat races, and this is the kind of course that would suit him to absolute perfection. But I think here you get an idea of just how fast we are going, and Robbie McEwen probably said to the boys, it's okay, don't worry, I might be sitting a little bit far back in the main field, but just pull those guys back for me.
16 miles to go. Two teams of Australian leadership, which is De Vitamin Lotti with McEwen, the Cofidis team with O'Grady. They're both hunting that green jersey. It's not eluded Robbie. He's won it twice. It's always eluded Stuart O'Grady. And if he wins the stage, it would all depend on where Thor Hushovd, who's wearing the green jersey, finishes.
9.8 miles to go to the finish, inside of 16 kilometers as we stretch out along the Place de la Concorde one more time. The Golden Dome you can see in the back there, by the way, is Les Invalides, and that is where Napoleon Bonaparte was actually laid to rest.
Looking down here, I think we're just off the Place de la Concorde at the moment.
See, in the Jardin de Tuileries, just at the far end. If you go right the way through those gardens, you'll find yourself getting right up into the heart of Le Louvre. And strangely enough, just opposite the entrance to the Louvre, there's a small monument which is a miniature Arc de Triomphe, and it lines up perfectly in a straight line with the needle in the middle of the Place de la Concorde and the large Arc de Triomphe at the top of the Champs-Élysées.
They're still away. The camera often foreshortens the lens. The time gap is still there. The pack are massing now to see who else is going to make any pace-making here, because it looks as though Cofidis and De Vitamin Lotto have turned off the chase just for the moment. Those are the riders right on the front here.
Axel Merckx in about 5th or 6th position, looking across at Cedric Vasseur. The two men a couple of days ago locked in battle at the Aerodrome in Mende, where Vasseur finished 2nd and Axel Merckx finished 3rd. These two riders are actually holding on to rather a good advantage there, as they can see the Maid of Orleans, Joan of Arc, looking down on the bike race this afternoon.
The race goes underground just for a split second, then it pops out like the giant worm it is. Then they turn left here as they go down the Rue de Rivoli. Then it'll be onto the Place de la Concorde. Then they'll have 2 circuits left to run.